All right, welcome back to the New Equity Network show. I'm Michael Yorba, your host. Thanks for joining us. And we are broadcasting from the 1160 KVCE DFW's Business Authority. All right, my first guest today is Bob Hammond, funding specialist at Merchant Banking Resources. One of the things that we like to do here on the show is be able to provide people a way to increase their business through new technology, new business processes, but also in the life of every business, new funding processes. And we have Bob Hammond, funding specialist from Merchant Banking Resources, on the show with us right now. All right, Bob, thanks for being on the show. Welcome to the show.
Michael, good morning. Thank you for having me on.
My pleasure. Now, for the new listeners, please give everybody a broad spectrum or an idea of who you are, what you bring to the table, and also what Merchant Banking Resources does for businesses out there.
Sure, Michael, I'd be happy to. Well, first of all, I think I bring a rather unique perspective to things. I've spent over 25 years in the business world, both on the corporate side of things, but also involved in a number of small business ventures over the years. And I think what that's given me is an appreciation for the importance of capital and the success of businesses, and really how challenging it can be at times for many businesses to acquire that capital they need to grow.
Exactly. It can be very difficult in this time and age. Give us a bit of background on the Merchant Banking Resources. I understand you guys do cash advances to businesses, but, the range of funding that you do, and then we can get into, drill down into how that works for the listening audience.
Sure. Merchant Banking Resources since 2008 has been providing merchant cash advances and business loans to small businesses ranging anywhere from $25,000 up to $3 million. And we do so in all 50 states, including Puerto Rico.
All right. Now, are you guys, you're direct lenders, right?
Correct. We're direct lenders. We're not brokers. We have our own underwriters, and really what that means, Michael, is it allows us to establish our own lending criteria. We utilize our own funding and to respond to business owners' needs in a rapid fashion.
Okay. When you say you are direct lenders and you've got your own underwriters, that means that there's an efficiency in getting the capital to the businesses. So can you get us drill down into how efficient you are in being able to provide capital to these businesses, and what kind of businesses you end up working with?
Sure, Michael. We fund businesses of all types and size, really across the gamut. It can range anything from a manufacturing company to a growing doctor's office to a restaurateur that wants to open a second or third location. So we really run the gamut in terms of the type of businesses that we work for. And we pride ourselves in a very simple and fast and efficient process. It really starts with just a simple one-page application, and I'm not kidding. It is truly just one page, which for anybody that's has been in the business world or has applied for loans in the past, they know that that's very atypical. Oftentimes there's 6 to 8 page lending documents. But simple one-page application, we ask for some basic documentation, last 6 months bank statements, the current driver's license, current business license, just some real basic information. And from there, Michael, we're able to turn around approvals within 24 to 48 hours. From there, typically funding within 3 to 5 business days.
Now, from Mark McGuire has been on the show a few times, and he and the rest of the team there have mentioned that you have a 95% success rate for approving small businesses, applications getting approved for capital formation. How is that possible? That's that's a massive number.
It is, Michael, and it's something we pride ourselves in. And I think first and foremost, the credit goes back to Mark McGuire, our CEO, who really, more than anything, it's a desire. We have a strong desire to lend money, and we want to help business owners to succeed. And that's why, 95% 5 out of every 100 businesses that come to us will get an approval from us.
You know, that's the opposite of what you see at traditional capital formation sources. It's actually less than 3% really get through the door to actually get their deals done. So is it the target market that you're going after that you can keep that high rate, or is there something else?
Michael, it's really all about our funding criteria. As I mentioned, since we are private lenders with our own underwriters, we can kind of control the process. We have our own funding criteria, which is much more lenient than traditional lenders. Our primary criteria for lending is based upon the cash flow of the business.
There we go. That's what I wanted to find out.
Yeah. So, unlike, many traditional lenders, whether it be banks or credit unions, they use a variety of different criteria to qualify for lending. So typically, you require very good personal credit, good business credit with, and then oftentimes significant collateral and even at times personal guarantee in the business. Ours is much different. We primarily, as I mentioned, use cash flow of the business. We want to work with good, successful businesses that are having, at least probably $15,000 a month in average cash flow and are growing their business each and every month. That's really what we look for. And then a good, strong track record in the marketplace.
Okay. Now, I went to your website, and you do more than just, cash flow loans. You've got business cash advances, but you also have high risk, high volume services, credit card processing, and e-commerce services. High risk, high volume services. Can you give the audience a description of what that is?
Well, I think it's just that, in that, there are many businesses out there that cannot qualify for traditional financing. They either have, a bankruptcy somewhere in their past, their personal or business credit score may not be up to the stringent standards of what banks are looking for. And we're here to help those businesses. Again, just because a business owner's credit score may not be such that a traditional bank would take a look at that, that's something that we would take on. Especially we look more towards the cash flow of the business and what that business owner is doing to be successful in his business month in and month out.
All right. I've been to your website, and I was looking at the types of businesses that you work with, and it doesn't just involve only manufacturing or only franchises. I mean, you work in the e-commerce field where people who are developing software or hardware and software, and in that fashion too, right?
Correct. And as you know, Michael, these days one of the fastest growing trends is home-based businesses. We'll even work with home-based businesses. We work with bars, nightclubs, restaurants, motels, hotels, auto repair and service shops, bowling alleys. I mean, just about any business out there you can think of that needs working capital, we're here to help them.
No, that's great. And that's one of the things I really wanted to do with the show, is to be able to provide sources of capital formation for businesses that are out there looking to grow, looking to employ people, and expand. Now, Bob, we're going to need to take a break here for just a second. So before we go, though, please, contact information for you. So the people that are out there trying to grow their business, just need a little bit of help to get over a hurdle, can reach out to you and see if they can work with you and do business with you.
Sure, Michael. It's Bob at merchantbankingresources.com, and by phone 651-338-7532. Again, Bob at merchantbankingresources.com, 651-338-7532.
Great. Thanks, Bob. And when we come back, let's talk about your e-commerce services and drill down more into the kind of businesses and some of the qualifications that we need to, be aware of when they come to you. All right? We'll be right back on the other side of this break with Merchant Banking Resources on the New Equity Network show. I'm your host, Michael Yorba.